Hello everyone, Reza here. In this video, I will showcase how to build a React-based Power App with SharePoint Lists as a data source. And all of this through Vibe coding. Yes, Vibe Power Apps now has the option to connect to SharePoint Lists. Let's check this video out in action. Building Power Apps using the SharePoint connector, we can now build a full stack React application, and this entire experience we can create by simply wipe coding. In the Power Apps Maker portal, we have the option to start with wipe coding. Let's try it out. This is currently available under the preview experience for Vibe. To describe what I would like it to build, since I will be using SharePoint as a data source, the Vibe experience always recommends Dataverse tables to begin with. I do not want it to recommend or create any tables, so I'll ask it to do the following. Build me an app named Issue Tracker with a single button and no data sources. The data source we will connect later. That will be my SharePoint list. My scenario, I have an issue tracking SharePoint list that has metadata around issues, different types of columns, text, multi-lines of text, choice, date, lookup. An issue will be assigned to a technician to work upon. I have a separate list that is being looked up to select the technician. Each technician has a specific specialization. When an issue is reported, the user will select the category of the issue. Based on the category, I wanted to assign the specific technician. Now let's build a full stack React app by wipe coding and connecting to our SharePoint lists. Plan mode. Here, the agent will discuss and review the plan with me before making any changes. I'll keep this on. And let's begin wipe coding. So the plan is a minimal single page app with one button, no data sources. I'll accept this plan and I'll ask it to create the app. Multiple agents will spring into action and it will start creating my React app. The task has been completed. My app is ready. Just a button. The idea was for me to enter the wipe coding interface. And now under data, it's currently empty. I will start connecting to my issue tracking SharePoint list. Under data, add table, we now have the SharePoint connector option available. So add tables from existing SharePoint lists. This will first add the connection to SharePoint. I'll enter my SharePoint site URL and connect. Now I can pick the list and connect. Now this adds an actual connection to my SharePoint list. This is not bringing the data over to a table in Dataverse. If I go to view data, notice it says this table is in read-only mode. This is an existing table and cannot be edited here. To edit, there is a link. If I select this, it will take me to that SharePoint list. SP technicians list. I would like to show these details as well in my app. So under data, add table, I can bring in more SharePoint lists. Once again, connect to my SharePoint site, SharePoint list, and connect. Observe how the lookup column is being showcased as a relationship in the data model. Once again, I can view the data in my SP technicians list. Now that I have my lists connected, let's ask the agent to update/build my screens. I'll ask it to build a home screen using the issue tracking list data. I'll ask it to show the following columns, provide an option to search by the title, add filters for status category priority, sort them by the date reported, newest first, and also color code the status, and those are my choice options. I'll click go. Multiple agents will begin working on my request. Observe, it's executing generate data layer code. The data layer in this case is a connection to SharePoint. This is a full stack React application. Under app, if you go to code, I can now look at the data model that it is generating. This data model coming from my SharePoint list schema. The app, issue tracker, source code. Under pages, if I look at index.typescript, here is all the code that it's gone ahead and built out based upon my prompt. Let's go to the preview, and here is my home screen, listing all the issues from my SharePoint list, color coded. I have the option to search by the title, search for paint, one issue that has the title paint. I can filter this by status or category. Now next, I'll ask it to add a create issue experience using the issue tracking list, build a form to create the new issue, auto set date reported to today, also auto assign my technician that has a specialization for that category. Only use technicians where is available is true. On submit, save the issue. I also have an image of how I would like my app to look like. Here is an image that I will add as an inspiration to my agent. All I have to do is drag and drop that image right here. You can drag drop multiple images. I'll also add check attached image for screen style. Go. There's my image. There's my prompt. The agents get to work. They'll read all the existing files in my project. They will start writing to those files. They will validate all the changes. And once done, it will save the updates and notify me. As it's building it out, if you are in the preview experience, you can see the updates being made live. You can see the create issue button light up. It's added the button. When I select, it slides it out from the right, similar to the image that I uploaded, but it's not 100% built out my page design based on that image. I'll give it the reference again. Update the app design to match the attached image as a reference. You can see the updates live. It's added my left navigation with all those links as per the image. Now if I click create issue, there is the panel opening up from the right hand side. And I can test this out. I'll say the air conditioning is not working. Building 5, floor 1, category, HVAC, priority high, status new, date reported. I asked it to default it to today's date, which it has done. And observe, based on the category I selected, it's assigning Derek as the technician, because in my SharePoint list for HVAC, the technician who has that specialization is Derek. If I pick electrical, the technician would be Reza. It will change dynamically based on my selection. I can give it an expected completion date. I like how the agent automatically blocked dates prior to today, so I can pick a date in future, create the issue, and it's gone ahead and created in my issue tracker list. This in my SharePoint list. this coming from my React-based Power App. The agent recommends additional actions as well based on the prompts you've specified. Add an issue detail page with an edit form. I can see its details and also have the option to edit if needed. So I'll go ahead and ask the agent to make that update. It's created the issue detail page with the edit form. It's now adding the routing and navigation to that details page based on a selection that the user will make in this view. Now it's validating all the updates to the project that it's made. Once done, it will notify me that the task has been completed. Done. Let's select an existing item. Here are the details. I can delete, I can make changes. Emergency lighting failure, I'll make this critical. Save the changes. Updates are made. Emergency lighting failure now has the priority critical. Add a dashboard page using the issue tracking list information. Show counts, total issues, open issues, completed issues. Break them down by category. Use charts or visual cards. So now this will go ahead and build out my dashboard screen. Not just that, it understands the entire context of the application design. The left navigation dashboard will now lead to that dashboard page. And when I'll click on issues, it will then take me to the issues page. Right now, these are dead links, but as I start framing and building these pages, it will automatically add the navigation. If I head over to the code view, under pages, here is the code for the dashboard page that it has gone ahead and built out using React. Back to the app design, check that out. A dashboard highlighting the total issues, open issues, completed, blocked. A chart showing the issues by category, status, distribution of the issues, and more. Issues will take me to that issues view. Add a technicians page using the SP technicians list. Show these details, allow to create, edit, and delete. Allow an option to mark technician available or unavailable, show their current workload. Once it builds this page out, it will connect it with my technicians link on the left navigation. Here is the technicians page. I can mark them as available or unavailable by simply changing the toggle right here. I can add another technician or edit existing technician details. Next, I'm going to give it a large prompt. Add a report screen. Add a calendar view. The create issue left navigation link should open the create issue form, and also add a Kanban board and allow the user to drag and drop between the different swim lanes to update the status. Best practice, break it down into simpler prompts, but for the demo purpose, I'm going to ask it to do multiple things. And as you can see, it's breaking it down into multiple tasks. Create the reports page, create the calendar view, create the Kanban board. While it does this, observe, it's designed this in a responsive fashion as well. If there are any issues, you can ask the agent to make the modifications. It's built out the calendar view and the Kanban board. It's yet to add it to the navigation. Done. Now if I click create issue, you can see how it opens that form. It's also added the navigation routes, Kanban board. Here it is. I can literally change the status by dragging and dropping these items across the swim lanes. Here's the calendar view of all the issues. Here's the issue I created today. These are all the other issues mapped on the calendar. Here is the reports view I asked it to build out. You can see how easily you can create a multi-paged React app experience by simply vibe coding with coding agents. And one last prompt, show current logged in username in left nav at the bottom. It has context of the current logged in user, name and email, which you could use for building role-based applications. Let's fire our next prompt. Show the current logged in username. It's built the hook to get the user information. All of the code, you can see the entire structure that it is generating. Here is the hook to get the current user context. And the update has been made. Here it is. My app's done. Next step, publish. It's preparing my app. It's building my application. And now it has deployed my app. Here's the link to the app. I can play this. Can also scan this QR code and view this app on my mobile device. Let's play it. Here is the app being played in PowerApps. Dashboard, issues, create an issue, Kanban, calendar, technicians list, reports, and any other pages that you want to vibe and build out. There's also the share option. If I click share, this is just like sharing any Canvas app. I'll pick a user in my organization, Sarah, and share. Done. If Sarah tries to open that URL, Sarah signs in, the app loads. No data. No issues. If Sarah tries to create an issue, it will fail. Why? The data source is SharePoint. What permissions have you granted Sarah in that SharePoint site? Sarah has no permissions here. So let me grant Sarah edit permissions on my SharePoint site. This time, when Sarah loads the app, all the data is right here. So the security is bound by SharePoint. If Sarah only has access to her issues, you've enabled item level security on the list, that would be respected. If you enjoyed this video, then do like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thank you so much for watching.